Welcome to Destination Deanna. I'm Deanna, love guide to all and kept wife strategist to the women I'm called to serve. Please consider my channel your self-help learning library for love. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for our weekly coaching gem, where I give guidance to elevate your love experience. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m., tune in for Sounds About Wife, where I give my unique wife perspective and prepare professional women like you to become kept wives. So hit that subscribe button and let's start this love journey together. See you soon, my loves. Welcome. It is episode 29. I cannot believe it. Episode 29 of Sounds About Wife. Literally, how did I even come up with this idea? Literally, I came up with this idea because I would use a little catchphrase like when I saw things online that I'm like, that sounds about wife. Right? And I'm like, well, I'm already, I already have my channel. I'm already going live. So, how about I just really focus on wife preparation and wife mastery, right? Because we do know that I have lots of already married women that are tuning in every week and they are sharpening their tools, right? Or putting more tools into their toolkit. And I love that. I love that for you. I love that for us. And this has been a season, right? So this was the first season of Sounds About Wife. And we are concluding. This is my last actual live before I go on to my summer sabbatical. So if you are new here, maybe you're not aware that, I'm not just the kept wife strategist in theory. I actually am a kept wife. So yes, I have a thriving coaching business. I am an author. I'm a speaker, but I don't have to, right? This is a labor of love, right? This is a calling. God has placed it upon my heart to pour into women and make sure that if they're in a marriage that they're not experiencing captivity, they can make some adjustments. If they want to get married, they can be prepared to do so. If they're in a loving marriage and they just want it to be better, here you go, right? So that is what's happening here on Destination Deanna with Sounds About Wife. So I see I have a comment. Let me get to that real quick. Hi, honey. I see you probably heard my message. I love you. I'll talk to you after. So let's go ahead and get into today's topic. The final episode, episode 29, is Be the Invitation, not the application. So that attracts. And when I say attracts, we are attracting quality keeper men. I don't waste time talking about dusties, men who don't want to provide, men who are not godly, who don't see being a husband as a high calling, as, they see a wife as a gift. We don't talk about those men here. So we're talking about attracting quality keeper men. So let's jump right into it. I usually like to start off with a personal share, something that's related to the topic. So why I even want to have this conversation, right? Well, so many of my high achieving clients come to me frustrated, right? And not because they can't get attention, right? All of my clients are beautiful. They have a lot going for themselves. They're usually very funny, witty, all the things, right? But what we're running into is getting over the hump, like not just the interest, but we also want some commitment, right? Like I said, these women are smart, they're successful, they're attractive, yet somehow they are overlooked in a way or passed over for women who don't do as much. And I know, listen, I've been guilty of this in the past of, seeing a pair together and being like, how? Right? How? Sometimes it's what we would deem as maybe a mismatch in looks or overall appearance or whatever you want to call it. Right? So what I've actually uncovered, right? I've been a coach for a decade now. So I've dealt with thousands of women, hundreds of different couples. I've had male clients, all of the above, right? So what I've uncovered again and again is this. These women who are successful by all accounts of catch, they are more than likely unknowingly treating love more like a job interview, right? Where they're listing off their qualifications, their degrees, right? A lot of things that really are just chasing validation, right? Where they are trying to earn love instead of inviting it in. So this lesson today really matters because I've just watched women shift from more so being like an applicant to actually attracting, right? And that's when their love life changes. So that's the information that I'm going to give you today. I'm going to break down the actual strategy that you can use to go from being more of an applicant to actually being the invitation. Okay, so that's the core lesson today. If you are a note taker, now would be the time where you would want to take the exact notes of what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you 5 keys to being the invitation. So this is the feminine strategy that you will want to apply. Number 1, presence is more powerful than performance, right? You're calm. Confident energy is more captivating than a checklist of accomplishments, of degrees, of certifications, of skills, of things that you can do, right? Performing actually creates pressure. And men of value don't really want the pressure, not in their romantic relationship, right? They more so want presence, which actually creates a pull, right? It pulls them in, and that's what you want. Now, in the Bible, Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Right? So stillness actually shows trust, right? When you're anchored in yourself, you become a magnet. You don't feel like you have to prove your worth, right? It is just innate. It is built in you. Your presence already displays that. Now, statistically, 71% of men say confidence and calm energy are more attractive than appearance. So when you see some of those mismatches and you like, what happened here? That's it. Presence was the key. Number 2, masculine men are drawn to space, not pressure. Here's that pressure word again, right? Keepers want space to initiate. So we say all the time, right? We want a man to take the lead. We want him to take initiative and all of that. The missing part on the feminine side is not leaving space for him to do so. So when you fill all the air, all of the space with your over effort, it blocks his instinct to move toward you. Like, let's be honest here. A lot of you are here because not because you're not attractive, not because you haven't had men interested, but the majority of you are like, I want a higher caliber of man, right? I no longer just want whatever is showing up. No, I want a masculine man who is sure of himself, who will initiate, who will provide, who will be, godly and of good character. You want better men. And those better men, they are masculine men. They are drawn to space, not pressure. You're not going to be able to over effort him. You are literally going to have to create the space for him to initiate. Leave things alone. Leave there some space and time. Proverbs 25:24 says, better to live on a roof than with a quarrelsome woman. And I know we take that quite literally sometimes, but the lens I want you to have here is excessive push energy is the same as being quarrelsome, right? It's energy that actually drives masculine men away. Now, statistically, men in long-term relationships list feeling trusted and needed as a top reason they stay committed. And this is in Psychology Today. So, all of my retired independent women who are quick to say, I don't need a man, please remove that from your vocabulary. I understand that you're trying to communicate you are self-sufficient, not independent. Self-sufficient means you can adequately do it all for yourself, right? You're not sitting idly by waiting for a man to just give you the good life. You're successful, you treat yourself well, you're living life well until he comes. But in your waiting, if you want to attract men that will provide for you, that will see you as a feminine woman that deserves to be soft, right? Taken care of, cared for, you absolutely need to need them. Not in a damsel in distress kind of way. Like, I know that is so like old school feminine 101. We've evolved past that. No, but there needs to be space for him to serve you. Space for him to initiate things. Space for him to show interest, right? Space for him to do things for you. Number 3, invitation is energetic, not verbal. A lot of the things that I teach, like, yes, I give you exact scripting, I give you questions to ask, I do all of those things. But most of what I teach, if you pay attention, it's more so about energy, presence, your being, not necessarily your doing or what you're saying. So keep this in mind, right? It's your eye contact. It's your posture. It's your softness, right? Not your pitch. Not what you're saying, not what you're selling, right? Warmth actually inspires pursuit. Explaining actually kills the vibes. And I see I got a comment. Oh, thank you, honey. My baby said, understanding what self-sufficiency is and not calling it independence is a superpower. That is one of the shifts that I myself had to make, and it obviously paid off. Right? We're not independent here. Independent means in and of itself, no desire for companionship, no desire to allow any assistance, any partnership. Self-sufficiency is, I'm good. I got it. I could take care of it all if I needed to. I'm not a liability. I'm a partner, right? I'm a whole woman on myself, but I welcome partnership. I welcome masculine help. Okay. So yes, invitation is energetic, not verbal. So in the Bible, Song of Solomon 2:14, let me see your face. Let me hear your voice. You don't have to talk them into it. You just have to be. You just have to be. And I know that sounds so simple, right? But it's because we have to get back to the simplicity of it all. How we were created, the lifestyles that we've lived, the choices that we've made, the relationships that we have been in, they have hardened us. They have conditioned us to be independent, right? To not be soft, to not allow. So we actually have to undo all of that. Now, statistically, men respond faster to nonverbal cues than direct initiation. And this is from eHarmony 2021. And listen, that makes perfect sense because they are wired to be leaders. Leaders don't necessarily take direction, they give it. But leaders are inspired. Leaders are influenced. So as a feminine woman, your superpower is to lean into your energy, right? Lean into your presence, lean into your influence, lean into how you inspire him to do the things that you would appreciate. Number 4. Oh, hey, Carla. Glad you're here. Number 4. Men don't fall in love with your resume. They don't. Like, I know very accomplished women, like, take this as a dig when I'm like, they don't care about your degrees and stuff. They don't. That doesn't take away from the value or the accomplishment, though. Excuse me. It's amazing what you've done. It should be applauded. You should be happy about it. You should be proud of it. But don't rest your being on what you've done. Don't rest your value of who you are as a woman on accomplishments, because that's how you end up in a marriage where you're only a successful wife if you clean the house perfectly, if you cook the meals perfectly, if the children are cared for perfectly. Right? Now, we do know as a wife, especially a kept one, you do manage the house, right? You are running the home front. You are the one on the front lines when it comes to the children and their education and things, because he's the earner, right? However, when my husband talk about me, do y'all hear him talking about how domestic I am? Now, he enjoys it, and I enjoy that part of our relationship. I enjoy serving him. I enjoy cooking for him. I enjoy organizing the house. Like, I cannot wait. He will be home from a work trip on Thursday. I can't wait till he sees some of the little zhuzh and stuff that I've done in our home to welcome him home. I can't wait. However, that's not the things he brags about when he talks about me. He talks about my essence. He talks about my energy. He talks about how I inspire him. That's all in my presence. That's not me performing duties. So keep that in mind, right? Keepers fall in love with how you make them feel. How you make them feel. That's why it's important for you to be playful, for you to have a smile on your face, for you to look good, smell good, feel good, be light and airy, right? Because that type of vibe and energy, it is magnetic, right? They want more of that. They can't wait to be home. They can't wait to be in your embrace and your energy. That is what you want to focus on, right? Because they fall in love with how you make them feel, not with how many degrees, certifications, accomplishments you have. Right? So feminine currency is what wins. And if you don't know what feminine currency is, you need to take some time and go back a few episodes towards the beginning and refresh yourself so that you can master your feminine currency. Proverbs 31:26 tells us, she opens her mouth with wisdom, and kindness is on her tongue. Right? So it's literally going to be your softness that stays with him, not your statistics. Okay. And Harvard shows emotional intelligence predicts long-term love more than socioeconomic status. Right? And that's why you can see people of all socioeconomic backgrounds make it, have successful marriages. Right? It's probably easier the more funds, assets, availabilities, and things like that you have. However, how you relate to one another, how the woman makes this man feel is what's going to have him going out there and upping his game and earning more and providing for the family. Now, number 5, the final one. Feminine strategy is about response, not control. You don't have to initiate everything. You just have to be receptive, right? Let him lead so he can see your value. My baby, feminine currency, he will know the language of that bank and he loves it. Listen. Thank you, baby. So the feminine strategy is more about how you respond. And if you focus more on how you respond, you could actually pay attention to how this man is showing up. Instead of romanticizing every little thing and you actually making these steps and creating this vibe, creating this feeling that he just shows up for. I always say that a woman is going to get the best out of a man when she is his choice. Now, this doesn't mean you don't have a choice. You have the ultimate choice of whether or not to receive him. However, you get the best out of men when you're their choice. How do you know that you're their choice if you initiate things? If you're planning the dates, if you're asking him, what are we? If you're asking him, when are we going to get married? If he's responding to you, how will you ever know that this is where he wants to be and what he wants to do? Train yourself to be patient and observant. Observe how this man shows up for you. Observe how he talks to you. Observe the time that it takes for him to plan things. Observe whether or not he incorporates things that you've told him about yourself into what he plans. Right? Focus more on your response, not control, not initiating. In Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season. Let me be clear. It's not to say that you'll never be able to plan a date. You'll never be able to initiate. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying in the beginning, if you want commitment, if you want to know you're a man's choice, if you want the best out of him, hands off, ladies. Hands off. You should be observing and responding to what he initiates, right? There will be a time to lean in and a time to let love come to you. I believe that women should allow the invitation. I'm sorry, not allow the invitation. Women are the invitation and they should allow the man to initiate. That's going to work best for everyone, right? Because you will see that you're his choice and he will feel validated because you reciprocate, right? He will know you appreciate his efforts by how you respond. It's win-win this way. When a woman initiates, you're actually robbing the man of the opportunity to do so. You're robbing him of the opportunity to be in his masculine lane and show you what's important to him, what he values. You're robbing him of the opportunity to show you the type of man he is, so you can make an informed decision. Is this the type of man I could follow? Is this the type of man I could submit to? Is this the type of man that if he was annoying me, I would still want to serve him and make him a sandwich if he was hungry? These are real things, okay? Statistically, 82% of high-earning men say they bond more with women who bring peace and presence. And this is from Forbes Love and Lifestyle Survey 2022. They bond with women more who bring peace and presence. That's why you don't see a man choosing a woman based on whether or not her net worth matches his. They don't need us for that. What they need us for is our energy, our presence, right? I love that, when people ask my husband things online, like, well, what do you get? We know she's kept. We see you spoiling her and doing all the things. And like, what do you get? He's like, I get her. What are you talking about? She is the reason I enjoy all of this. What do you mean? I'm working to give her more of all the things for us to enjoy. I'm the presence, right? I make him feel appreciated, valued for everything he does, right? I bring the enjoyment. Let me see. Comment. There he goes. Yes. Thank you, baby. So, as the kept wife strategist, I always want to, shift your perspective, right? And give you what I call the Kepti lens. Here on Destination Deanna, aka the Keptiverse, we don't subscribe to commoner behavior, mindsets, actions, none of that. And what's a commoner or a common her? Those are women who are common, right? They're with the masses. They accept less than, right? They don't mind the struggle. They don't mind low leveling. Not here. Here, we are women that will do the work to become our best selves so that we can attract men who are their best selves, who will value us, right? And that's a Kepti, right? Either a kept wife already or a woman aspiring to be a kept wife, right? And you become my Kepti when you work with me, and I'm your coach, your mentor. But here in the Keptiverse, let me give you the lens for this lesson, right? We don't chase. We attract. We don't audition. We prepare, right? Commoners apply for love. They think they have to prove themselves, have all the accolades. They have to be equal to the man. Keptis invited with our energy, with our presence, right? So this is the mindset shift in a nutshell. I want you to go from proving to positioning, from hustling, you got to match, to holding space, allowing him to initiate, right? Receiving, going from pressure, you driving things, to presence, you being relaxed, you being postured to receive, right? You don't get chosen because you push harder. This isn't a job, right? You get chosen because you're a woman that a keeper notices, right? And he notices you not for what you say, not for all your accolades, not for all your degrees, not for your certifications, not for how much you've earned in your business. None of those things are what's going to sway him. He may applaud them. He may say, great job, because it is an accomplishment and you should be proud of it. But what he's going to care about is how he feels around you. What is your presence pull out of him? Okay. Now, I always have what's called the Kepti consideration. I'm an avid journaler. I created a love attraction journal. If you don't have a copy of that yet, go to Destination Deanna, make the small investment in yourself and start there. Start with the love attraction journal where you can literally work through your love limitations. You can redefine what love should be for you, and you can design the relationship you desire to experience, right? You can do all of that with 28 prompts that I have put together from the questions that I asked myself when I went through this process before I attracted my amazing husband, right? Now, I put together questions, journal prompts every week that I do the live. They are only accessible to those who are subscribed to my Facebook, right? So become a subby, go to facebook.com/Destination Deanna and subscribe. In addition to getting my weekly journal prompts, you'll also get a monthly Q&A where you can ask me anything. I give out advice. It's a time, right? I coach in there, everything. And that happens once a month, every month. In addition to when I take my sabbaticals and I'm not online, I still do some exclusive posting for my subbies, right? So it is the entry point to the Keptiverse. So go ahead and join. It's a nominal investment, 99 cents a month. Come on. Come on. Now, let's get to the strategy. Because I'm a Kept Wife strategist, I'm not just going to tell you about the lesson. I'm going to tell you what are the practical tips and how can you put this lesson to work in your life immediately, today. You can do this today. And because I know I have a mixed crowd of supporters, I'm going to start with my women who are preparing for marriage. So my singles, or for those who may be dating, maybe not yet in a committed relationship, right? So for those preparing for marriage, this is the strategy for you. I want you to spend 5 minutes a day sitting in stillness, right? Practice your being without doing. Number 2, I want you to use eye contact and subtle smiles to engage, not over talking, right? So polite eye contact, not over talking. And number 3, practice making room for men to initiate. It could be as small as opening doors. It could be as small as saying the prayer over a meal, making plans, allowing them to compliment. Start making room for men to take the lead and initiate. Get in the practice of doing this. Now for my already marrieds. I love you ladies. You hold a special place in my heart, right? Because you already got your man. Some women choose to, be like, all right, I ain't got to try. I got him. But not you. You're like, nope, there's more to experience. There's more as a wife that I could strategize better about. I could show up better. I want to improve, right? So for my already marrieds, pause before correcting and ask instead. This is really good. I do this all the time with my husband. And when I tell you, I always get a good response out of him. Always, right? So instead of maybe criticizing how he did something or what he said, it's more like asking him a question, which invites him to clarify for me or invites for him to make a shift or a change if he desires to. But it's a much better exchange when I just ask and I have an inquiry and I'm soft about it and I'm respectful about it. We all win that way. So pause before correcting and ask instead. Number 2, invite leadership with phrases like, I trust your call on this. I do this all the time. My husband might ask my opinion about something. And if I really have a strong opinion, I'll share it. But most of the time, I'm like, I trust whatever you decide. Or I'll even give him a compliment before that. Honey, you're so smart. Honey, I love how principled you are. I love how you make decisions. I trust whatever you decide here. I trust whatever you want for us. Right? You're inviting his leadership. You are also like instilling confidence in his leadership when you do that. Right? It's letting him know, I trust you, honey. I know you're a good leader. Whatever you decide, it's okay. That also allows him to relax into just making his choice because he already knows you're on board, right? Number 3, reignite attraction through softness. So dress how you feel, right? Touch more, initiate intimacy with your presence, right? There's always room for more intimacy. I don't care how much you getting. There's room for more. I don't know too many husbands that'll turn it down. If they're turning it down, something might need to check. Something else. Check if he's tired. Check if he's fed. Check if he's annoyed. Did you do something to turn him off? Check those things, because 9 times out of 10, you offer, they take it happily. Okay. So here's my recommendation, right? Now that you have the lesson, you have the strategy, right? If you're ready to stop like applying for love and finally start attracting it, right? Attracting the relationship you deserve, getting some commitment. It's time to upgrade your strategy. I'm here every week. You can see the consistency. I got hundreds of videos, right? You can go kind of get through all of that stuff, but really you need to book a Kept concierge call, right? That's 60 minutes with me where we're going to uncover what you may have unknowingly been doing that blocks the energy of pursuit, right? And you'll learn how to be the feminine invitation, right, for a keeper so he can't ignore it. And the great thing about booking a Kept concierge call with me is, in addition to us getting down to the nitty gritty and you leaving with a strategy that you can apply immediately, if we are aligned to work together further, I will make an invitation to my private Kepti premium coaching community, right? It's invite only, because I have to protect the energy in there. I give all of myself in there. We become a family. We pray together every week. We have accountability calls. I teach them a separate monthly lesson where I go deeper into the love lesson. Listen, these ladies are transforming before my very own eyes, and I would love for you to join if you're aligned. So go ahead, book your Kept concierge call if you know it's time for you to do something and you've identified me as a person that you would let speak into your life, right? And for those who are ready to be more immersed in real-time coaching, softness, and strategy, right? The easiest way for you to actually manifest the love, relationship, marriage that you want is to be immersed in the energy of it already. Right? A lot of times we have never experienced what it is we want, right? So have you even seen a kept wife? Do you know what that's about? Well, how about you spending, 2.5 days with me, where you get to see how my husband caters to me. You get to experience the luxury spa that I go to. We actually go to fine dining together. I am teaching lessons all day, right? I have a prepared lesson, but then as we're just together, the lessons write themselves in just the experience. So every woman that has been to the Kept Wife experience has either joined my private mentorship, signed up for one-on-one coaching, or come back to do another Kept Wife experience, right? It's a small group. It's only 5 women. And guess what? I am gearing up to release my next book, which is going to be Break Up Now. Funny, right? More about that later. And in 2026, it's going to be all about that book in my private community. So I will not be doing the Kept Wife experience in 2026. So if you are interested, the last opportunity is in September. And guess what? There's only 5 spaces. 3 are already taken by my current Kepties. They're like, listen, we cannot miss out on your last opportunity. And it's your birthday. So we know what's going to happen. Yes, because it's my birthday. Like, I'm up in all of it because it's my birthday. But there's 2 spaces remaining for the September date. Listen, go to destinationdeanna.com. Take a look at what is included and go ahead and reserve your space. I actually got to go and update it because right now I might have space for the 5, but my 3 Kepties already put their bid in for their spaces. So it's only 2 left, right? And for my wives, I've been listening to you. I know I've been getting all the inboxes. I know the emails you responding. I know there needs to be more for my wives. So I am doing a wives only Kept Wife experience in October. It is the only one I'm going to do for the foreseeable future. You already know 2026, there's no Kept Wife experience. I don't know if I'll ever do one for wives again because that's not my primary audience. But I have so many of you I just feel a pull. God told me to do one date. I'm doing one date in October. So go to destinationdeanna.com, scroll down on the main page. You'll see the Kept Wife Experience. Click on there. You can see the details and you see the 2 dates. Pick one. Okay. And I see who's the comments. Oh, hey, Issa, how are you? Long while. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. So what's my closing, right? And this is basically, how do we summarize this lesson? What do I want you to get from here? You're not a pitch. You are not a pitch. You are a presence, right? The right man doesn't need a resume. He needs a reason to pursue. So be that invitation, right? Thank you so much for joining me for my last live, right? This was season 1 of Sound About Wife. We've had 29 episodes. If you missed any, please spend the summer getting caught up on episodes 1 through 28. I am on sabbatical from June through August. I return back for season 2 in September. It's going to be bigger, better, all of the things. But during the summer, please stay tuned, right? Go back, watch the lessons. Give me the watch time. I still need it. Okay. Leave your comments when you watch. Let me know what topics you want me to cover when I come back. I love you all so much. Thank you. I'm like just so excited, but I am excited to have some time off. It takes a lot to do these lessons. I mean, to do one lesson a week, I know you're like, oh, it's 20, 30 minutes. Sometimes, a little bit more than that, but I prepare. Sometimes these lessons have taken me weeks to prepare, to research things, to really narrow down the most important points, to really time it with what I see going on social media and what I'm hearing in my emails and different things like that. I really take it seriously. So I need a break. Right. And I'm going to enjoy my husband, enjoy my family, enjoy being kept. You know what I mean? So if you just can't wait that long, you better go ahead, book your Kept concierge call, because we have until June 1st to go ahead, make that happen and enjoy my community. Right. So please remember, kept wives are prepared women, and prepared women have strategy. And if you want the winning strategy, you come to the Kept Wife Strategist. So see you in September for the next live of Sounds About Wife. I love you all. Have a great day. Thank you so much. I see I'll be catching up. Thank you, baby. Thank you for your support for this whole season. All right. I love you all. See you in September.